In a small town nestled between snowy mountains in Norway, there lived a 26-year-old girl named Elena. She had golden hair, eyes like the winter sky, and a dream bigger than any mountain in her country. But her dream didn't involve climbing peaks or sailing fjords. No, Elena had one goal: to speak English fluently and confidently, to travel the world and connect with people from every corner of the earth. But there was one problem. Every time she tried to speak English, her voice shook, her heart raced, her mind froze. She had studied English in school. She could read books, understand grammar rules, even write a few decent paragraphs. But when it came to speaking, her mouth just wouldn't cooperate. She would go to the mirror and say, "Hello, my name is Elena. How are you?" But the moment someone actually asked her that in real life, she'd panic. Her words would run away like scared children hiding from a thunderstorm. She worked as a receptionist in a small hotel in Bergen. Every summer, tourists would flood the city. Americans, Indians, Australians, Chinese, all of them speaking English. And every day, she would smile, nod, and say only the safest words: "Welcome, please wait, thank you." But deep inside, Elena wanted more. She wanted to have real conversations. She wanted to ask guests about their lives, their dreams, their cultures. She wanted to laugh, joke, and make friends. One evening, after a long day at the hotel, she sat in her small apartment, staring at her tea. The sky outside was painted in soft orange and purple. She whispered to herself, "I'm 26. I've waited enough. I can't keep hiding." So, she made a decision. Starting that night, Elena would practice English speaking every day. But not just the old way. She wouldn't just memorize words or copy dialogues from textbooks. No, she wanted to practice like she was really speaking to people, like she was living real conversations. The next morning, she woke up early and opened a notebook. On the first page, she wrote, "Elena's English Conversation Journey." She began with simple topics. Day 1. Talking about myself. She stood in front of the mirror and said, "Hi, I'm Elena. I'm from Norway. I work at a hotel. I love music, books, and mountains." She repeated it 5 times. Then she added details. "I live in Bergen. I have one brother. I love playing the piano. My favorite food is salmon." At first, it felt strange, like she was talking to no one. But after a few days, something changed. Her voice grew stronger. Her words came faster. Day 3. Ordering food in a restaurant. She imagined herself sitting in a cafe in London. "Hello, I'd like a coffee, please. No sugar. Can I also have a croissant?" Then she imagined the waiter asking her, "Would you like anything else?" And she answered, "Yes, a glass of water, please." She smiled. This was fun. Every day, Elena added a new conversation, talking to a stranger, asking for directions, meeting someone for the first time, telling a story, sharing feelings. She didn't just practice words, she practiced life. Soon, she recorded her voice. She listened to her pronunciation. She corrected small mistakes. She watched videos on YouTube, but instead of just watching, she spoke along with the speaker. "I don't care if I sound silly," she laughed. "I care that I'm trying." Weeks passed. Her mirror became her best friend. Every evening, it was like a new movie. Elena the tourist, Elena the student, Elena the businesswoman, Elena the dreamer. One day at work, something happened. A couple from New Zealand arrived. The man looked confused. "Excuse me," he said. Do you know where the nearest pharmacy is? Elena's heart raced. This was the moment. She took a deep breath. Yes, of course, she said with a smile. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. You'll see it next to the grocery store. The man smiled. Wow, your English is great. Elena felt her heart bloom. Thank you, she said. After they left, she ran to the staff room and did a little happy dance. I did it. I really spoke English. From that day, she changed. She started conversations with tourists. Where are you from? How long are you staying in Norway? Do you like our cold weather? People responded with warmth and joy. Some shared stories. Others took photos with her. And one Indian family even invited her to visit Mumbai someday. Every night, she wrote about her conversations in her notebook. Today I met a woman from Japan. We talked about cherry blossoms. I helped a man from Canada book a taxi. He said my English was perfect. Slowly, her world expanded. She didn't just speak English. She connected. One afternoon, her hotel manager called her. Elena, we're starting a new project. A language guide for our international guests. I want you to lead it. Her eyes widened. Me? Yes, you. You speak well. And more importantly, you care. Tears filled her eyes. Thank you. I won't disappoint you. She spent the next few weeks creating simple conversation guides for guests. Everyday English, how to ask for towels, how to order breakfast, how to find the city center. She added, small tips. Smile, make eye contact, don't be afraid to make mistakes. And then something even bigger happened. A local English learning center invited her to speak. Can you share your journey? We want others to feel inspired. She stood in front of a group of young learners, her heart pounding. But she remembered her mirror, her notebook, her long evenings talking to herself, and she began, I used to be afraid. I used to hide. But then I decided I don't want to just know English. I want to live it. And the only way to do that is by speaking it. She shared her daily practice tips. 1. Talk to yourself in English every day. 2. Use real-life topics. 3. Repeat conversations until they feel natural. 4. Listen to your voice and correct it. 5. Don't be afraid. Be proud of your journey. The room clapped. Some students cried. Elena smiled. She was no longer the shy receptionist who avoided eye contact. She was now a guide, a speaker, a motivator. Years passed. Elena traveled to other countries. London, Toronto, Bangkok, New Delhi. She made friends. She learned cultures. She laughed in English, cried in English, dreamed in English. She even started a YouTube channel called Speak with Elena where she shared conversation scripts for English learners. Today, let's talk about how to start a conversation at work. Let's practice speaking at a cafe. Want to improve your fluency? Repeat after me. Thousands subscribed. Millions listened. But she never forgot her beginning, her cold apartment in Bergen, her notebook, her mirror, and every video. Every story she told ended with the same words. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait for perfect English. Start speaking now. Start living your English story. Elena's journey wasn't about being perfect. It was about being brave. It was about taking small steps every day, even when no one was watching. Especially then, one day, while sipping coffee in a cozy cafe in Paris, Elena received a message on her phone. It was from a young girl named Ananya in India. Hi Elena, I'm 18. I found your videos last month. I used to be so scared to speak English, but now, every morning, I practice with your scripts. Yesterday, I introduced myself in English during my college orientation. Everyone clapped. I just wanted to say, thank you. Elena stared at the message, her eyes moist with emotion. This was the real reward. Not the likes or subscribers, but the human connection. The fact that someone thousands of miles away was becoming braver, just like she once did, because of a story. She replied, I'm proud of you, Ananya. Keep going. Your voice matters. Later that night, Elena recorded a new video. She spoke softly, as if talking to just one person across the screen. Today, I want to tell you something important. Speaking English is not just about grammar or big words. It's about confidence. It's about believing that what you say matters. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. She paused and smiled. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I am learning. I am growing. I am not afraid to speak. Say it with me. Again, she waited. Good. You did it. Now go out there and talk to someone. Ask how they are. Share your thoughts. Tell your story. Because the world needs your voice. Messages poured in from Brazil, Egypt, Vietnam, South Africa. Elena, I use your videos in my classroom. My mother is 45 and she practices with your channel every night. I finally gave my first presentation in English. Elena felt like a small flame had turned into a bright fire that was spreading across the world, warming hearts, lighting courage. She remembered something her grandmother once told her. Even the coldest winters can't stop the sun from rising. Her journey had started in silence and fear. But now it was echoing in classrooms, living rooms, and streets in countries she hadn't even visited yet. One summer, Elena returned to her old hotel in Bergen. It had been years. She walked in, almost like a guest now. The receptionist smiled and said, Hello, welcome. Elena replied, Thank you. I used to work here once. The woman blinked. Are you Elena? From YouTube? Elena laughed. Yes, that's me. You've helped so many people. Even here, we share your channel with new staff. You inspire us, she sat in the hotel lounge that evening, watching the sunset. She opened her old notebook, still with her after all these years, and read the first words again. Elena's English conversation journey. She turned the page and added one more sentence. The journey never ends. It only gets stronger. Then she looked into her phone camera and said, Wherever you are right now, whatever your age, your country, your level, please remember this. You can speak English. You don't have to wait until tomorrow or next week or when you're ready. You're ready now. Let's speak together. Let's make mistakes together. Let's grow together. And one day, you'll be the one telling your story, just like I did, because fluency is not a finish line, it's a road, and every word you speak is a step forward. She ended the video with a warm smile and said, If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread courage, not fear. You're not alone on this journey. I'm with you. And with that, she closed the notebook, finished her tea, and walked into the evening light, her voice no longer quiet, but bold, full of hope, and alive with purpose. A week later, Elena flew to Tokyo for an international language conference. She was invited as a guest speaker to share her journey of learning English and teaching others how to speak with confidence. It was a big hall, hundreds of people, many just like her, nervous learners, first-time speakers, dreamers, Backstage, she stood quietly, holding her notes. Her hands trembled just a little. Even after years, the nervousness still visited her sometimes. But now, she welcomed it like an old friend. Because she knew what to do with it, she whispered to herself the words she had once written. I am learning. I am growing. I am not afraid to speak. And then she stepped onto the stage. A spotlight followed her. Faces turned to look. Cameras rolled. She stood in the middle and took a deep breath. Hello, everyone. My name is Elena, and I come from a small town in Norway. A few years ago, I couldn't even say that sentence out loud without feeling scared. I avoided speaking English because I thought people would laugh at me. I thought my accent was wrong. I thought my words didn't matter. She paused. The audience leaned in, but I learned something. It's not about perfect English. It's about courage. It's about practicing real conversations. It's about showing up every single day, even if it's just you and your mirror. People nodded. Some smiled. Others wiped tears. She continued. I started simple. Every day, I chose one small topic and spoke it aloud, talking about my day, asking for directions, ordering coffee. These small conversations built my confidence. Slowly, I stopped waiting for the right time. I made now the right time. She looked around the room. You might feel scared. That's okay, but don't let that fear silence you. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And the only way to speak better is to speak more. Make English a part of your daily life. Even 5 minutes a day can change your world. Applause erupted. She smiled, deeply touched. After the event, people gathered around her. A boy from Thailand said, Elena, I used to hate my English, but after watching your videos, I feel like maybe I can do it too. A woman from Spain added, I practice with your mirror script every morning. I feel brave now. A teacher from Brazil asked, can we use your conversation method in our school? Elena nodded. Yes, please do. Let's make English feel like home for everyone. That night, she sat alone in her hotel room, looking at the Tokyo skyline. The city lights sparkled like stars, each one a dream in progress. She opened her laptop and began typing her next video script. Today, let's practice small talk for a new job. Ready? She knew someone, somewhere, would watch it. Maybe in a tiny kitchen in Kenya, or a park bench in Poland, or a student dorm in the Philippines. Someone would be waiting, and she wanted them to feel that they were not alone. She said into the camera, let's imagine this. It's your first day at a new job. Someone walks up to you and says, Hi, nice to meet you. What do you say? She paused and smiled. You say, Hi, nice to meet you too. I'm excited to be here. Let's try it again. Repeat after me. The comments flooded in. I practiced this before my internship. I used this line today in my first meeting. You make it feel so easy, Elena. But Elena always replied with the same truth. You're the one doing the hard part. I'm just walking with you. By now, her channel had reached 1 million subscribers. But to her, every single person was like that first guest from New Zealand. A chance to speak, a chance to grow. She started a new series called Speak with Elena, Daily Conversations, where she shared real English interactions for different situations: buying groceries, talking to a taxi driver, making new friends at a party. Each episode included a sample script, key phrases, speaking practice, confidence tips, and always ended with her saying, Don't be afraid to speak. The world needs your voice. One day, she received an email from a man named Ali in Morocco. He wrote, "Dear Elena, I'm 35. I never went to school. I work as a taxi driver, but I wanted to speak English with my passengers. I started watching your videos in my car during breaks. I practiced your lines. Last week, I gave a full city tour in English to a couple from Canada. They said I was amazing. I cried after they left. Thank you for showing me that it's never too late." Elena closed the email, hands trembling, tears falling. She whispered, "This is why I do what I do." Years passed. Elena wrote a book titled Your Voice, Your Story. Speak English with Confidence. It became a global bestseller, not because of big words or fancy grammar tips, but because it told real stories, gave real conversations, and shared the real path to English fluency, not through fear, but through faith. She always reminded her readers and viewers, you don't need to be born in an English-speaking country. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need courage and a few words to begin. The rest will follow. Her story was now a movement. Schools used her methods. Parents practiced with their children. Even older learners in their 60s and 70s started speaking up. Elena became a symbol not of perfection, but of progress, and even now, when she walks into a classroom or turns on her camera, she begins the same way. "Hi, my name is Elena. I'm still learning, and I'm here to speak with you." Because in the end, it wasn't just about English. It was about freedom. It was about opening doors. It was about believing that your voice, however quiet, deserves to be heard. So wherever you are now, on a bus, in your room, at a park, take a deep breath, say your name, say how you feel, say what you dream. In English, in your voice, in your way, because your journey is just beginning, and someone, just like Elena once did, is waiting to hear you. A few months later, Elena received an invitation that would change everything once again. It was from the United Nations Educational and Cultural Program. They were organizing a global event titled Voices Without Borders, a celebration of how language connects people, heals communities, and opens doors for the future. They asked Elena to be the keynote speaker and share her story of learning and teaching English through simple conversation. The event would take place in New York City. Elena had dreamed of visiting the city as a child. The tall skyscrapers, the buzzing streets, the yellow taxis, it all felt like a movie. But now, she wasn't just visiting as a tourist. She was arriving as a voice for millions who once felt voiceless. When the day arrived, she stood backstage at the United Nations Hall. Her reflection in the mirror looked calm, confident, and kind. She thought of her younger self, the girl who whispered English lines to her mirror in a tiny room in Bergen. She smiled and whispered one last time, "Let's do this." For every learner, for every voice still waiting to speak, she walked on stage. A round of applause welcomed her. Delegates, students, educators, and learners from over 100 countries sat before her, ready to listen. She began, simply, "Hello, my name is Elena. I come from a town where English is not the first language. For many years, I believed I wasn't good enough to speak it. My accent wasn't right. My grammar wasn't perfect. My confidence was missing. But one day, I decided to stop waiting. I picked up a mirror, looked into my own eyes, and started talking, not to impress anyone, not to be perfect, but just to try." Silence filled the hall. Her voice was steady, her words soft but powerful. I practice conversations that matter, greeting someone, asking questions, sharing how I feel, and slowly, word by word, I built my fluency. I didn't have expensive courses. I didn't have a language partner. I only had my notebook, my voice, and my dream. She paused, then added, and that dream wasn't just to speak English. It was to connect, to understand, to belong. People nodded, deeply moved. Elena continued, English, to me, is not just a language. It's a bridge. It's the key that opened doors to friendships, jobs, and adventures I never thought possible. And I believe that every person deserves that key, whether they're 12 or 70, whether they live in a big city or a small village. She raised her eyes to meet the crowd. My message is simple. You can speak English, you just have to start. Speak alone if you must. Speak with mistakes. Speak with heart, because fluency does not grow in silence, it grows in courage. The entire hall erupted in applause. Some stood, some cried. After the speech, people lined up to meet her. A girl from Syria said, My father watches your videos every night. He says your voice gives him hope. A boy from Argentina said, I used to be shy, but now I practice your daily conversation challenge with my classmates. We all speak better. Now, a teacher from Ethiopia said, Your mirror method is now part of our national curriculum. You've changed how we teach speaking. Elena shook every hand, hugged every person, listened to every story. Because she believed every voice mattered, back in her hotel room, she sat by the window, looking at the glowing lights of New York. She opened her laptop and clicked record for a new video. This time, her voice was softer, deeper, more personal. Tonight, I want to talk to just one person, you who are scared to speak, you who think it's too late, you who hides your dreams behind fear. Listen to me. Your voice is not broken. Your words are not silly. Your journey is not behind. You can begin right now. She leaned forward. Let's practice together, okay? Repeat after me. Hi, I'm learning English. I want to speak with confidence. I am not afraid anymore. She paused. Say it again, louder this time. For yourself, for your future. She smiled warmly. And remember, fluency is not the goal. Connection is. If someone understands you, you've already succeeded. Keep speaking. Keep trying. You are not alone. I am with you. She ended the video the same way she always did. If this helped you, like, share, and subscribe. Let's learn together, one conversation at a time. That video became the most watched English learning video of the year. It inspired schools to launch mirror speaking clubs. It encouraged shy learners to speak up. It reminded people that language is not about perfection, it's about presence. Years later, when people would ask Elena, What's your secret to becoming fluent in English? She would laugh gently and say, There is no secret. Only this. Speak even if your voice shakes. Speak even when no one is listening. Speak because every sentence you say takes you closer to the world, to people, to your best self. And then she'd add, with a wink, and if you ever feel alone, just open your phone. I'll be there, waiting to speak with you again. Because Elena didn't just teach English, she taught courage, she taught connection, she taught that inside every quiet learner, there is a voice that deserves to be heard, and maybe, just maybe, the next story will be yours.